Y'all know the Spirit Squad, the cheerleader dudes who Vince McMahon has as his security back in 2006. Well, they may have been Raw regulars, but I thought it would be fun to kind of dive down the rabbit hole and go to their more obscure and craziest matchups ever. We get to travel to Ohio Valley Wrestling and WWE Heat for this video, and I also may have something in the works for a run that Kenny Dykstra and Mike Mondo had in the Indies in 2017. Yes, I also know that they had a run on SmackDown in 2016, but I'm saving that for another video. Let's get to the Spirit Squad shit. So we start out with a 10-man tag team match that took place in Ohio Valley Wrestling on February 11th, 2006, as all 5 members of the Spirit Squad take on Danny Inferno, Mikey Batts, Russell Simpson, and the Riggs brothers. I think Mikey Batts and Johnny will start off this match. Batts rolls out a wheelbarrow arm drag as the Spirit Squad angrily wave their pom-poms. Batts gets the tag to Danny Inferno, and then the tag is made to Kenny as he drops Inferno with the body slam. Inferno stops Kenny on the top with the deadly drive. He then pops him into a back body drop in the corner lariat with a flare bump to add on top. Russell Simpson gets the tag and Irish whips Kenny. Kenny then runs into the referee, and the Spirit Squad hit a big lariat while the ref is distracted. Nick Nemeth then tags in and starts choking out Simpson before he tags in Mike Mondo, and they hit an assisted moonsault for a 2 count. Mondo with the back handspring elbow into the corner, he scores another 2. Soon after, the hot tags are made, and Jason Riggs starts firing up on all 5 members of the Spirit Squad, besides Mitch, who Matrix dodges a shot. Riggs with the double splash, flapjack no IHOP. Riggs then hits an exploder power slam before it can get broken up. The match starts breaking down. Mitch avoids another apron shot. Kenny then hops over Riggs, and Mondo nails the super kick to score the 3 count for the Spirit Squad. CM Punk then appears and then starts wearing out the Spirit Squad with a belt randomly. Punk then starts whipping this man with his pants around his ankles as Brent Albright, also known as Gunner Scott, then starts attacking Punk. What a random ass assortment we have here. The audio is absolutely blown to shit on this next match, but 1 month later, and Mike Mondo and Nick Nemeth will take on Elijah Burke, who runs into the ring with the Amish Roadkill. The hell? I love this combination. They shall be called the Amish Express. Elijah Burke starts this match in the corner with Mike Mondo. Burke with the running corner line, he hits a corkscrew elbow and fails to fall over the top. Mondo then lines him over. Tag to Nemeth, they hit the assisted moonsault and score another 2 count. Some things occur, Mondo does a jumping jack and then the running man knee drop for a 2. Put the shit in 2K. Back handspring elbow in the corner, followed by the facebuster for another kick out. Elijah tries to feed up, but Nikki starts choking out Burke with his shirt before Roadkill blobs him in the back. Tag is made, and they once again hit the assisted moonsault before Nick misses the elbow drop. Burke then rolls over to Roadkill for the hot tag as he starts kicking in their spirit. Mondo goes crashing into his faction mate. Roadkill then hits a big spinning back suplex. He then lays out Nemeth with a big ass spear. Roadkill goes to the second rope and fights off another member before he just sends his big old body into the Spirit Squad on the outside. Elijah Burke hits a facebuster in the ring. Roadkill then scales the top and delivers the splash to pick up the win. Next episode of OVW, and we have a shitty free fall in the ring. And it will be Johnny, Kenny, and Mikey taking on the team of the Amish Express and Casey James. Nikki and Mitch jumped the boys before, and I think Kenny jumps off a trampoline and 450s onto everyone. Okay, somebody also stole Roadkill's hat. Bell rings as Elijah Burke drops Kenny with an atomic drop and the running elbow. Casey gets the tag and does the default moveset moves before he drops Mondo with a back body drop. Casey knocks down Kenny and Johnny and starts up the 10 punches. Mondo pushes James off. Kenny hops in the ring with the Trouble in Paradise before Mondo can only secure a 2. Johnny tags in and hits a neckbreaker for another 2. Casey James takes most of the heat for this match as the Spirit Squad do their tag team shtick. Kenny soon climbs to the top to hit the top rope leg drop, but nobody's home and we get our double down sandwich with extra mayo. Roadkill gets the hot tag and starts body slamming all 3 Spirit Squad members.
Like the teats on a cow!
Roadkill then cleans out his opponents with the double clothesline. Tags in Elijah and he hits a triple splash. Burke then hits a splash of his own. Elijah looks to end the match, but Nikki hits Burke in the head with a pole. Kenny then rolls up Burke and scores a 3 once again for our Peppy boys. Shout out to Tyler King for a lot of this OVW footage, by the way, as Casey James and Roadkill will be the next team for the Spirit Squad as Johnny and Kenny get their ass whooped during Casey and Roadkill's entrance. Roadkill and Casey hit the double clothesline. Kenny distracts Roadkill by breaking up the pin. Johnny then rakes the eyes and tags in Kenny. Roadkill tries to fight him off, but Kenny gets some big right hands and then gets sent away with a back body drop and splash combo for a 2 count. Casey gets tagged in and Kenny gets spinebustered. Roadkill then flattens him with the splash. Casey then nails the elbow drop before Johnny breaks up the count. Very basic run-of-the-mill tag match ensues.
I didn't think it was possible for somebody to be wider than Michael Jackson, but Johnny just did it.
Burke trips up Kenny on the outside, which allows the rolling hot tag to Roadkill. Roadkill hits a rebound sidewalk Amish slam and then the spinning back suplex for the 2 count. Johnny struggles to fall over the top, where then Roadkill spikes Kenny with the DDT. Spirit Squad starts distracting the referee before he gets crotched from the top rope. Kenny tries to steal the pin, but Roadkill kicks out. Kenny grabs his cheer horn, Casey James then nails Kenny in the head with the loaded boot. Roadkill then soars to the top and Amish Roadkill picks up the win as the Spirit Squad start whipping his Amish ass. Okay, so this match actually has a lot of stipulation here, so stay with me. We have Casey James and Roadkill taking on the Untouchables Deuce and Domino and Kenny and Mikey of the Spirit Squad in a triple threat tag team match, and I think the stipulation is, if Roadkill and Casey James lose, they must disband as a team, but if any of the champs get pinned, they will lose their titles with the OVW Southern Tag Team Championship and the WWE World Tag Team Championships on the line. Sorry, that was a mouthful. The Untouchables start wailing on Casey and Roadkill, so I'm very unsure what kind of tag rules these are. The Spirit Squad literally wait on the outside and just keep getting batted to the floor. Deuce and Domino also kill Roadkill with these kicks. That one definitely hit him right in the mouth. One of them runs off the ropes and actually falls to the outside. Hooray! I guess this is tornado tag rules. The Spirit Squad with the back elbows, and he misses the assisted moonsault, where Roadkill then spears both men out of their shoes. Casey and Roadkill both cover and only score 2s as well. Back body drop from Casey James, the big ride delivered on Mike Mondo from Roadkill. Roadkill then climbs to the top, but Nikki hits Roadkill in the back with a Singapore cane to crotch him. The referee then throws out the rest of the Spirit Squad as one of them takes an inside out bump. Yes, it's hard to tell which one they are by this grainy ass footage. Kenny takes not only a Shawn Michaels corner bump, but also takes a flare bump. Johnny then, no joke, takes a Triple H corner whip bump. I am not making this up. That had to be a Rivet DX. Domino with the Vader bomb, but the Spirit Squad stops the pin. Mikey takes a foot bump off the top, Deuce then shoots an elbow, Roadkill then throws Deuce off and tries to steal the pin before he gets booted.
That's a whole lot of man.
Spirit Squad invade the Untouchables and start stomping out Casey James. The Spirit Squad then nail James with the heart attack before the Untouchables break up the count. Deuce and Domino hit an assisted knee strike for the 2. Roadkill tries to pull him off for the 2. Roadkill then gets it to himself. Domino with the single leg drop kick. Cherry then gets on the apron and Deuce gets strapped up with a roller skate, and he bonks Roadkill in the head with it. Kenny pulls Deuce off for the 2, Domino pulls off Kenny for the 2, Mikey pulls Domino off for the 2, Roadkill then kicks out of Mikey's pinfall at 2. Holy shit, how many times am I going to say 2? The Spirit Squad and the Untouchables start an alliance and start putting the boots to Roadkill. All 4 men try to climb the rope for the... but everybody misses and clocks heads as Roadkill tries to move out of the way. Casey James starts getting rid of the Spirit Squad with the right hands. Roadkill tosses one of the Untouchables into the ring post. Roadkill then drops the other one with the Death Valley Driver and scores the win, and per the stipulation, Casey James and Roadkill are the new OVW Southern Tag Team Champions. 2 months later, in the Spirit Squad, specifically Johnny Jeter and Mike Mondo, who do a Triple H style entrance because I think this is hot off their feud with DX at this point, on June 3rd, 2006, and they will be taking on the team of the OVW Heavyweight Champion Phil, and a mystery partner who we then see is Tommy Dreamer, who is promoting one of the best pay-per-views of all time, but no time to waste as the Spirit Squad start exchanging rights with the boys. Punk and Dreamer with the double hip tosses, Tommy then Irish whips Punk into a suicide dive onto the outside. Punk then holds both men up and Dreamer gives them a baseball slide. The fight continues on the outside, Dreamer tosses a trash can at Mondo's noggin. SVR09's favorite tag team move only gets Phil a 2 count, Phil then hits a neck breaker for another 2. Dreamer gets tagged in and looks for the Dreamer driver, he knocks Mikey off the apron, and Johnny Jeter tosses Dreamer shoulder first into the ring post. Punk gets a drop kick to get Tommy out of the hold, but then Johnny continues to stomp on Dreamer and continue the working hold. Dreamer starts to feed up and hits the back body drop into the hot tag to Phil. Punk with the single leg, an STO, a knee lift, the signature Punk knee, part 2 electric boogaloo. He then takes them down with the clothesline bulldog combo for the 2 count. Punk with the combos on our Spirit Men. Punk goes for the pedigree, he gets drop kicked into the jackknife cover, and the 2 count is made. Spirit Squad then hit a heart attack in Paradise for the 2 count as Dreamer breaks it up. Tommy tosses Mikey over the turnbuckle, Johnny nails a super kick on Dreamer, Punk then pulls Johnny in and locks on the Anaconda Vice. Mikey comes in with the OVW heavyweight title, but Dreamer drops him with the Dreamer driver and locks in the crossface. An early version of Crime Time then comes out and starts laying waste to Punk and Dreamer to give them the disqualification victory. We now move over to our last 2 matches, and these will both take place on WWE Heat. First match on June 9, 2006, World Tag Team Champions, the Spirit Squad's Johnny and Nikki, will be taking on the team of Goldust and Snitsky. This team shall be called Beauty and the Fugly. Apparently also this will be Goldust's last appearance in WWE until he returned in ECW a couple years later. Snitsky does this shit, but Goldust and Johnny will start this one off. Goldust spits in Johnny's face, Goldust oversells a shoulder bump, Goldust then hits the flying ass on Johnny before tags in the Nemeth. Nick almost forgets to hit his head on the ropes as he just kind of flies back out of the corner. Goldust then returns him to that corner with the Ted punches, the exhale, and then drops Nicky with the sliding shot, atomic drop, and a flying clothesline. Todd Grisham calls Goldust fat on commentary as he tags in Snitsky, and he hits the standing vertical suplex and scores a 2 count. Johnny gets the tag as Todd mentions Snitsky's foot fetish.
This foot fetish is very real in the world of Snitsky.
Nick gets a military press slam from Gene. Spirit Squad then double team the big man after he eats the corner and then eats the corner again, and then Nicky hits an arm breaker for a 2 count. Spirit Squad have their way with Snitsky, no homo. Johnny hits a big drop kick before the Golden One breaks up the pin. Drop toe hold from Johnny, Nicky then takes a jump off of Johnny, but Snitsky moves and gives Johnny the big boot. Goldust gets the hot tag and hits a flying clothesline and atomic drop, back body drop on Nicky. Goldust then lines Johnny in the corner, and the Spirit Squad distracts the referee.
Turn on the 2. Wait a minute. Oh, he's trying to...
Goldust snaps a power slam on Nicky, but Johnny breaks it up. Snitsky takes a shot, but he then goes flying over the top. Nicky escapes the curtain call, Kenny then trips up Goldust on the outside. The Spirit Squad then hit the Heart Attack in Paradise for the win. Alright bros, last match of the video, as we will see Kenny Dykstra and Mike Mondo will be taking on Team Creepy Dicks, Val Venis and Snitsky. Val Venis also tries to get Snitsky laid with a random woman in the audience, but work must come first. Kenny and Val Venis will start this match off. Kenny tries the hip swivel, but he gets face bumped. Val Venis then starts flexing his Venus and flips Kenny into an arm drag. Snitsky gets the tag and hammers on Mikey's spine and starts stomping away at Mondo in the corner. Mike starts a shot on Snitsky, but Snitsky linebackers him down and sends Mondo away with a big hip toss and a delayed body slam. Armbreaker on Snitsky, Kenny hits the drop kick and scores a 2 count. Real shit, I don't understand why Snitsky is taking the heat in this match. Mondo is a literal dwarf compared to him. Kenny then soon tags in and knocks Venis off the apron. This match is long for no reason, nothing happens, and why am I even supposed to get behind the beast in the penis? Snitsky finally gets us to the double down with a back body drop. Val Venis gets the hot tag and starts up with the clotheslines. He hits a nice suplex on Kenny, and then drops Mondo with a full Nelson slam before Kenny breaks up the pin. Snitsky lines up the boot, but he gets crotched on the top rope, and Kenny drop kicks him to the floor. All of the Spirit Squad distract the referee as Johnny hits the run-in with the Trouble in Paradise. Kenny and Mikey then hit an electric chair splash on Val Venis to pick up the win. Well, I mean, at least this run concluded with a pretty cool moment, but these were the forgotten matches of the Spirit Squad.